it's update time. The January update is out. The transfer update, the attribute update, the massive update to the whole game. It's done, it's released, and I have had the opportunity to look at it. And all I can say, wow, the game really is the same when it comes to the match engine. But the attributes and player locations were updated, and that's cool. And this prompts everybody to look for a new save. But I'm not here to make a video telling you what kind of saves you want to do. I actually already have that video, which goes through a whole system to help you pick saves. And honestly, I think that my time could be better spent doing something like this. I'm going to take advantage of the new attributes to talk to you about 10 must-sign players after the update. And of course, they're going to be young players, because what would be the fun of me telling you to sign Messi if you can't? So we're looking at players that are under the age of 20, and my 10 favorites after the attribute update. Capiche? I am also going to be picking a new save as we go into this new realm after the transfer update. So if you want to watch that, I stream on Twitch 4 days a week. The link is right here. It's clickable in the description, right next to links for my YouTube and Twitter if you want to hang out with me on there. Yes, I've decided on the new save. No, I won't tell you until we start it. Regardless, here's the list of my 10 must-sign players under the age of 20 after the attribute update. Vamos, baby! All right, we're in. So what I did was I identified 15 to 20 players that look like they would be the must-haves after the update, and then I took a database of 372,000 players in every league playable and simmed it forward 2 years. Then I would be able to narrow those 15 to 20 down to the top 10 that I wanted to give you in this video, which isn't the end-all be-all of the 10 best players under 20 for you to sign, because there is some variance in what the potential ability of a player actually ends up being, but by and large that variance is not within too much, so all the people that are going to be on this list are going to be fantastic for everybody except for like 3 or 4 clubs in the world anyways. Which brings us to 2 years advanced Mohamed Ihattaren, the Dutch player from PSV, who's actually, after 2 years, he's still there, but that's because the game starts, he's only 17. First, I'll give you the things to like about Mohamed Ihattaren. He gets pretty darn good pretty early. He already has 10 caps for the Dutch national team. He has 18 technique, which is one of the most important attributes in the game, and very few people in the world will get it all the way up to 18. He combines that with being really darn athletic and having basically all of the important mental attributes at a very, very solid level for a 19-year-old. His downside, though, is that he doesn't have that top-end potential all the time. He can, I'm assuming, have even better potential than this, and this, of course, only 2 years in advance, but that top-end potential, which is available to some of the people higher on this list, where they can be the best player in the world, arguably at some point, I don't think Mohamed Ihattaren is ever going to be the best player in the world, and that's probably because I'm sure I can't say his last name. He's also apparently going to stay on PSV for a while, so you've got some time to buy him for not $150 million or whatever. Which brings us to number 9, a player named Hannibal Mejbri. Now this is Hannibal 2 years in advance. He starts the game at a measly 16 years of age. Now he is 18, and I'm going to give you some fantastic news. The number 9 player on our list was bought by Manchester United months into my simulation for just $11.5 million. And Hannibal Mejbri, while not as good as Ihattaren right now, 2 years in the future, is a year younger and has higher average potential, and he is a different kind of player. Unlike Ihattaren, who's going to be a forward, versatile player, can play on the left, can play on the right, can play center attacking midfield, Mejbri has enough defensive tools and stamina to play in the center of the park at a world-class level. Now, he obviously has a decently long way to climb to reach that potential, but I am not worried about him reaching it at all. His personality is ambitious. His professionalism is actually not even good. It's barely okay, but that really high ambition is going to push his training rating up and allow him to improve a lot, whether you're putting him on the field or not, which United is not, apparently. Now for the number 8 player on this list, and it's somebody who is a little bit older than the other 2 you've seen so far, which means their potential is going to be more set, and that is Dominik Szoboszlai. Pretty sure I nailed that one too. Similar type of player to Mejbri, but offers a little bit more of a well-rounded game with a bit better work rate. By the time he gets to 21 years of age, he is already considered a world-class midfielder in the media description. He has outstanding athleticism for somebody that can play holding midfield with the ability to pass the ball well at all. He's got a work rate to take advantage of it. There's no hole in his game per se, other than the fact that if you stuck him at one of the attacking positions that's available in his versatility, he's not necessarily full of goals, but I'm sure he would do just fine because of his technique and mental abilities. He would be able to overcome 9 finishing, and if you worked on shooting as an individual training focus, I doubt it would be 9. The move was 53 million, and he stays with Salzburg until 2021-2022, so you get a full 2 years to try and poach him from Salzburg before a large club comes and gets him. That's not uniform, but it surprised me that he could stay that long. Now number 7, and that's Joshua Zirkzee. He's already at Bayern, so he is definitely going to be a tough get if you want to pry him away, and he is a bit of a project, but there's something that just makes me drool all over myself when thinking about Joshua Zirkzee, and that is that he is considered a wonder kid with the potential to develop brilliantly mentally and technically, and he is 6'5", a shade under 2 meters tall, 190 pounds. I have no way to convert that for you, unfortunately. And he's fast. The man has 17 balance and 16 agility after 2 years of development at that size, with 15 acceleration and 16 strength. He's a physical dynamo who lines up top and is a complete forward dream, really, with the ability to dribble, the ability to score, plenty of technique. And I have a ploy for you to maybe be able to sign him. While Zirkzee is okay in his professionalism when we're talking about his developmental traits, he's ambitious. He's just as ambitious as Ihattaren, which means, was it Mejbri, which means he's not going to be getting playing time at Bayern for a few years. If you are an equally sized club or someone that can kind of hang with Bayern and you can lure him with playing time, that's the play. Which brings us to Fabio Silva at number 6. Now this is his development after 2 years. He's just 19, of course. He's a 6'2", 180-pound striking player with loads of technique. This is not near the best development I have ever seen from him. The striking thing about Fabio Silva is that he is at 16 at the start of a save, and he already has the ability to hang around the Porto first team. While his potential isn't necessarily higher than the other people we've looked at on this list, he's got a better chance to reach it than most, which is what makes this particularly surprising. Now, he's by no means a bad player. He is in the Porto first team right now at the age of 19, which I'm pretty sure all of us wish that we could be that, especially in Portugal. The beaches are water's a little cold, though, for my Floridian taste. But you would be remiss if you didn't notice that in the future, in a potential future, Zirkzee is better than this Fabio Silva. And basically, almost everybody we've looked at is better. Now, Fabio Silva did just turn 19 in this simulation about a month, 2 months ago. But the kid has good professionalism. The kid has good ambition, and development should be all but guaranteed, and obviously with 18 going on 19, it is far from over. So don't be discouraged necessarily if you see this 2 years in. Fabio Silva's a bit of a longer play, but that makes him a cheaper purchase at the beginning of the game, and he can already hang around most first teams in the world when he's 16. Hey Zealand, we want something new for the top 5. Say no more, fam. I give you a model citizen. A guy that hasn't popped up on too many lists for me in the past, but someone who starts at a very high ability level compared to other people that are on this list. Not so much Fabio Silva, where he's very high ability level for 16. Florentino Luís is a very high ability level for anybody, and he continues, obviously, to get better. He's a bit more of a natural holding midfielder than the other people we've talked about turning into holding midfielders, but as a natural holding midfielder, I don't think you're doing a whole lot better than this guy. To be perfectly honest, I would dream about turning Florentino Luís into a world-class center back. I think he'd be fabulous there. He's just tall enough, and I play a high line anyways, so it doesn't matter. All the important stuff defensively is there, and almost all of it is in my green range from 16 to 20. Thank you, model citizen. And it's easy to overlook, but technically speaking, he has all of his bases covered. He's got 11 long shots, so he is capable of scoring open long shots. His passing is at 13. His technique is at 13. He's got good vision, 14. He's able to contribute and not be a liability when he has the ball, but it looks like Arsenal have trained plays short, simple passes onto him, which means they don't really trust him making too many passes and want to get the ball to the other playmakers, which is fine because this guy will be able to do that every time and then clatter people. Also, his dirtiness rating is pretty low, which means he's probably not going to get sent off a whole lot despite being a really good ball winner. The guy's also going to be good until he's 35. His natural fitness is disgusting. Now for number 4, and we come to Reinier. Now, number 4 player that you should buy after the attribute update. Now, in our 2-year simulation, Reinier still has a lot of development to do, and that's probably because they've been loaning him out every year during his developmental years, which would be 17 years old, 18 years old. You really should be staying and training instead of getting playing time, but whatever. The AI sucks at this, we know that. Reinier is your classic attacking midfielder on steroids. He is going to be the player that lights people up and makes plays. You want him trying tricks and skills. You want him taking on everybody in a certain radius because he's athletic enough to be a sensational dribbler, and then everything else about him is tailored to be able to make plays and unlock defenses solely. That's what he does. He's got decent size. I can promise you his hidden attributes are very good for development. Reinier, you need a playmaker, I got you one. Which brings me to the number 3 player on this list, which I am sure I will catch flack for, and I want to preface this with the fact that I think he is going to be a top 3 player in the world at some point in his career in real life. However, Football Manager doesn't quite feel the same. When you look at his potential ability, you're looking at a player that's going to become very similar to the other players that we've been looking at on this list. But what Football Manager did was make him even better at the beginning of the save. And they also gave him excellent hidden attributes. So when you're talking about value for money, and I'm not just talking about the personality hidden attributes, I'm talking about consistency, important matches, he rocks those. And he really still has a chance to be the world's best advanced forward who likes to beat the offside trap. Look, I know this is not going to be the same type of bargain move to help build your team as the other people I have highlighted so far, but Erling Haaland deserves to be on this list. If I don't put him on this list somewhere in the top 10 after his attribute update that gave him the pace he deserves, then I might as well just shut down the channel now. So he's on the list. I'm sorry if you can't buy him, but he is one of the best players to sign under the age of 20 at the beginning of a save after the attribute update in the world, and I don't think anybody would argue that. You can definitely argue him being third, but these next 2 guys just have a higher potential ability range. And number 2 is going to make a lot of people happy because I've been hearing whispers about this guy for months while streaming. Oh, I had Pedri. He's been amazing. Have you heard about Pedri? Have you seen him in your save? Sign Pedri! Well, I didn't sign him, obviously, because I'm in Belarus. I signed Rudiger, by the way. But it turns out that Football Manager was paying attention too, and Pedri's performance in real life and in the saves, he's amazing now. Amazing. His vision is so good he can see through walls, and even though he doesn't have the athleticism or the size of some of the different players we've looked at, he's so darn technical, who cares? Not only that, but he's outrageously cheap compared to the people on this list. In this simulation, Barcelona signed him almost immediately for $7 million. $7 million. 7. He also feels Lionel Messi as a vital part of the team. He's very insightful. I don't need to tell you more about Pedri. He's outstanding. He's versatile. And by the time he turns 19, he's got 23 appearances for Barcelona's first team in La Liga. Sign the guy. He's like a no-brainer. He's not even in the face pack. What a human being. But he is number 1, because number 1 is Eduardo Camavinga. Look, I love versatile, do-it-all midfielders more than most people on the face of the earth, and that's probably why Camavinga's number 1, but his potential range is just about as high as anybody's in the entire game. And I'm literally, he got a bit of a buff. His hidden attributes are better at the start of the game, and he's not been 19 for long. In this simulation, he turned 19 16 days ago. And he's already making French national team appearances. Not even Pedri's doing something like that. So hear me out. He's an outstanding athlete with an outstanding work rate and outstanding technique. That's all you need. He does not start at Chelsea. He plays for Stade Rennais. He was born in Angola. He's also a Congolese national, and they actually switched him in the attribute update from being eligible for the Congolese national team to preferring the French national team because of how darn good he is. And I'm sure if you go after 16-year-old Eduardo Camavinga at the start of the game, before he starts popping up in the Stade Rennais first team at 16, you will be able to get a better price than 66 million. And when you look at this attribute page of a guy that just turned 19, I want you to understand the reason he's number one on this list is because there is a boatload of improvement left for him to do, or to have, or make, or whatever verb is supposed to be in that sentence. That's it. That's the top 10. Now I'm gonna go catch the elevator. I'll be back in a second, okay? Hey, sorry. It took forever. You wouldn't believe it. It took forever. I had to wait every single floor. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button down below. You can subscribe to the channel. We do all sorts of fun videos like this as we go through the Football Manager cycle. Look forward to seeing you on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, or whatever the hell I decide to do with TikTok, or if I even decide that's a good idea. If you like TikTok, give me an idea. I need an idea. I need one. Please. See you in the comments.